All right, all right. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, and we get ready to get started. Periscope, I'm just letting YouTube know we get ready to get started going live on kinetichifi.com. All right, all right. It is 12:38, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. It is time for Heart Talk. Heart Talk is the talk portion of our show. This is where we come together to renew our minds and restore our hearts. And on this Feel Good Freedom Friday, we're talking about letting it go. This segment of the show is brought to you by my new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. You can pre-order your copy at theheartconnections.com, theheartconnections.com. We're talking about letting it go today. And I was just talking about the need for us to let go and why we need to let go and make room for new things in our lives. But what I have come to realize is that many times we cannot let go because our identity is tied into the actions, the activities or actions that we're taking. What do you mean by that, Adelaide? I mean that many of us do not know who we are apart from what we do or what we are to others. For example, many men, well, I'm going to use mothers, many women don't know much about themselves outside of being a mother. They can't tell you what their favorite show is. They can't tell you what their favorite color is, but they can tell you that about their children. That is not good. It is good to be involved and to know what's going on with your children. But it is not good for you to lose your identity or most of it because you're so engulfed in your relationship with your children. Same thing goes for some husbands and wives. Some people marriage get lost. Our identity gets lost, and I'm no longer Adelaide. What it would look like is I'm not Adelaide. I'm Kevin's wife. I'm not Adelaide. I'm Akira's mom. And we have to begin to let go of what we think about ourselves. And that's scary because that means we have to embrace and adapt new ideas about ourselves. And that does not always come with warm and fuzzy words and feelings. What I'm telling you on this beautiful Feel Good Friday is that you have to get into a space in your life where you are willing to let go of anything that is holding you back from getting you to where you need to be. It could be people, it could be circumstances, but what I can almost always promise you, it's usually not anyone outside of yourself. Usually, what you have to let go is your attitude and your mindset about the life that you're living and the circumstances that you're going through. I want you to think about all of the people in your life that get on your nerves right now. All of the people who are burdensome. All of the people who, if you had your choice, you would deal with them less, or you love dealing with them, but you just wish they could be a little different. And, it would be easier to deal with them. What I'm telling you is these people are all mirrors to let you know what you're dealing with within yourself. It's time for us to get our identities correct. It's time for us to reclaim our identity. Our identities have been stolen. We're trying to be people that we are not. We are trying to live up to a way of being in a society that is not good for us. The norms that are accepted socially are ridiculous. And if you don't know who you are, you will get lost. You will get so lost in the crowd. That's the problem. So many people are afraid to stand alone. That's what happens when you find out who you are. You stand strong in who you are. But some people think so less of themselves, they're not able to stand alone. So they have to follow the crowd. And I don't mean physically, because I know you may be listening and you're like, I'm a loner. I stay by myself. I don't follow the crowd. But even in that, you're following the crowd. You're following the norms of this culture and this society that we live in. We all need each other to survive. But we don't need a bunch of Adelaides to survive. We don't need a bunch of LJs to survive. We don't need a bunch of Quinatas to survive. We need each and every person to be their best individual self. And that is like putting pieces together to a beautiful puzzle. And it unlocks answers and it brings about solutions to problems. But when we don't know who we are, then we'll get caught up doing things we shouldn't be doing. So if I think that I'm the milkman and my identity, let me break this down because some people are still missing it. Because some of you think that you're supposed to save the world. Forget saving the world. You think you're supposed to save your family members. Your children out here that you're still trying to take care of your parents. You are brothers and sisters that are trying to re-raise your brothers and sisters. And what I'm trying to tell you is we just need to understand our identity. I am not the milkman. But if I decided that I wanted to go down to the Coburg company, if it's still open, I don't know, and get milk and deliver it every day, people will be looking at me like I'm crazy. What are you doing? That's not your identity. You don't work here. That's not your title. You're supposed to be on the radio. Go and do what you need to do on the radio. Doing what I need to do on the radio would prevent me from doing what I was trying to do as the milk lady because the times and things like that would clash. So I need to be focused on, I have to let go of this idea of I'm going to be the milk lady so that I can nurture the purpose in being on the radio. Now, if I'm supposed to be a milk lady at some point in life, God will open up those avenues and those opportunities. Like they say, where there's a will, there's a way. But the will that you have isn't always aligned with the will that God has. And some of us are trying too hard to make it work that we're going from the beginning. It was inevitable. But because your identity is so wrapped up into the work that you're doing, you don't know how to let go of things because let go of that, you're losing a part of yourself and you don't know how to tell people that. It's time to let go. Your identity is defined as the fact of being who or what a person or thing is, a close similarity or affinity. In mathematics, identity is a transformation that leaves an object unchanged. That always used to get me in math when we had to do those problems. The fact of being who or what a person or thing is. What are you? Who are you? We talked about that on Wednesday. If you knew who you were, then you would know what you need to be doing. And you would know when you need to be doing it, and you would know where you need to be doing it and how. But the problem is, many of us are out of line, we're out of place because we don't know who we are. Therefore, if we have a mistaken identity, if we have mistaken the fact of being who or what we are, we're all out of line. We're all out of whack. And what happens is we reproduce being out of line, out of whack, out of line. We reproduce dysfunction. We watch our children. And the truth of the matter is, for those of us who have children old enough to remind you of yourself, those children that are difficult to deal with, they're just showing you how it is to deal with you. And maybe you don't do other people like that, but you do yourself like that. Who are you? Once you figure out who you are, you can let go of some stuff. There was a time that I had my identity. Let me make this personal. Because y'all know me, I'll make it personal so you can get what I'm saying. There was a time where I was doing a lot of things. I was very busy doing a lot. I still do a lot of things now, but I feel like I'm very purposeful now. It doesn't weigh me out the way it used to. But there was a time that I was doing a lot for certain people in my life because I had associated my identity with being almost like I didn't think I was their savior, but it was like, oh my gosh, nobody else wants to help them but me. If nobody else doesn't help them, then I don't know what they're going to do. Let me tell you what they're going to do. If I don't help them, let me tell you what, if I drop dead today or tomorrow, guess what they're going to do? They're going to find somebody else to help them. Let it go. Stop trying to Stop trying to fill your voids, your lack of self-worth by trying to do so much for everybody else. All it's going to do is make you feel less about yourself. All it's going to do is make you hate them, be angry and envious towards them because you've given so much into other people and you're not getting it back. But the reason you're not getting it back is because subconsciously you don't feel like you believe, like you don't even believe you deserve to get it back. But you know you should. But in your heart, you wrestle with it because you wrestle with your self-worth. And this is for my fellas and my ladies. Let it go. Let go of that mistaken identity. Let go of that lie that keeps telling you You're not good enough. You're not worth that. Why would that work out for you? You're not smart enough. You don't talk good like them. You don't dress like them. You're not from where they're from. You don't go to church like them. You don't act like them. Let it go. Find your identity in one that is secure. You can feel good and be free on this Friday and every day if you open up your heart to finding your identity in the one Yeshua, Jesus, the Christ. I'm telling you, we can't hold on to the strife. We can't hold on to the stress. We can't hold on to the racism, the discrimination. It will kill us. We all go through prejudice and exert it in some way, shape, or form. We all have things and people we would prefer not to deal with. Let's be honest. But we have to get to a space where we're willing to let go of any unnecessary baggage that's going to keep us from being who we need to be, when we need to be it, what we need to be it, where we need to be it, why we need to be it, and how we need to be it. It's important. Your identity, that is important. I want you to think about that. I really want you to ponder on this. What about you in your mind's eye do you need to let go of? You're not good enough. Yeah, you slept with all of those people, but so what? Repent and you will be forgiven. But will you forgive yourself? That's the question. It's time for you to take back your identity. No more identity thieves to take you. It's time to feel good. It's time to be free. And that's what this Feel Good Friday and Freedom Friday is all about. Letting go of the heaviness, the burdens, the pain, the lack, the brokenness, the poverty. Let it go. That is not who you are. That's what you've been through. That is not who you are. It is what you've been through. Let's not get it twisted. Time to get back to life. It's time to get back to joy. It's time to get back to peace. It's time to get back to prosperity. And I want to help you do that. Think about it. This has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, KineticHiFi.com. We'll be back at 1 with life hacks. We're going to do Heart Talk a little early in the 1 o'clock hour. Stick around. But in the meantime, back to life, soul to soul. Listen to what they're saying, y'all. High five. Thank you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be back later.